Welcome to No Ordinary Woman Chat Show. I'm your host, Miss Kazmak. Now, guys, you know when you come on this channel, you're going to meet amazing, phenomenal men or women on the show who's going to share their journey to share their journey and tell you how they became who they are today. So, without further ado, let me introduce my co-host, Miss Janelle. How are you, girl? You looking, girl, you look good.
Thank you so much, Kaz. And can I just say you're looking rather spectacular yourself. I mean, where did you get that skirt?
Well, I'll let you know about the skirt. This is Shannon pleated by Mamau. Now, this design, we have been pleasured to be dressed by the amazing Chantal. Now, guys, if you know about Chantal, you'll remember her from season 1. So do check her out and make sure you follow her as well.
Wow. Amazing, yeah.
So tell me about your dress.
Okay, well, seeing as you stood, I'm going to stand up too. So this is the wonderful and exquisite Kente Miranda design maxi dress. And as you can see, Kaz, I've got some exquisite detail around the neckline, you know, some triangle detail around the shoulders. And I just feel absolutely regal wearing this.
You just look like an empress.
Thank you. In the company of another, so...
So, Janelle, who have we got on the show? Because we've got our celebrity hairdresser, DECUTTE'S Clement.
We have, and I am really excited to talk to Derek today because Derek has been in the industry for many, many years. He is a pioneer in the industry, you know, from when I was very young, starting out, going to the first Afro hair and beauty shows, I knew about Derek. So to have him here and to be able to talk to him as the celebrity hairstylist to the world that he is, you know, I mean, absolutely amazing that we've got him on the show today.
And what's amazing about Derek, he's right here. So maybe we should get him to continue and tell us a bit more about himself,
Sure.
right?
Sounds good.
Hi, Derek. How are you?
I'm fine. I'm lovely to be in such wonderful company.
Thank you for coming. So do tell our audience about Derek.
Well, I'm Derek Clement, obviously hairdresser. She just, Kaz just said, and Janelle just said, I'm a hairdresser. Been doing it for almost 35 years. Was trained by Winston Isaacs. Winston Isaacs, anything I do, wherever I do it, I must mention his name because he was the pioneer. He was the man who actually started this industry and took it to the level it is at now.
Okay, and in regards to Winston, whereabouts was he located?
In the heart of the West End. I mean, Mayfair, to be precise.
Wow.
Mayfair in the West End.
That's amazing.
It's a tremendous achievement for a black person at the time.
Very tremendous achievement. And can I just say, actually, I had the privilege, I mean, sadly Winston is no longer with us, he's passed away, but I actually had the privilege of him doing my hair before.
Really?
And my hairdresser, who has been my hairdresser for the past 20 years, is also an alumni of Winston. Pauline, Lord, if you're out there watching, I'm saying hi.
Pauline.
So yes, we are in a really prestigious company to have somebody trained by Winston.
But here's the man, he was the man indeed.
So tell us a bit more about your journey. How did it actually get started? How did you become this hairdresser? Obviously you're sharing about Winston, but how did that start?
You know, it's an interesting thing. People ask me how did I start hairdressing, and everyone assumed that I played with dolls, or
You didn't play with dolls?
I was like, you know, what? Far from. I mean, literally. No, I mean, at the time, coming up in London, you could well imagine back then, racism, all the problems of black people trying to, you know, chart their path in London. I remember being at school, and obviously school times were difficult. You had race didn't exist, and I felt if my teachers were going to be difficult in terms of helping me to elevate myself as a young black guy, can you imagine the corporate environment? Can you imagine? I don't know. My friends went to work for banks. Many went to work for the airport, and I thought, nah, I need to work for a black company. Sadly, there's no black companies around at the time.
Yeah.
You know, and that's how I began searching for a black company. Went to the West End with my girlfriend, And the shop had just been open. I think a year earlier they were open, and there was this marvelous salon, big, beautiful, lavish salon, which was called Splinters. Sat there, I just couldn't believe it. I mean, black people, very, very, very grand, very posh, very eloquent. And I thought, this is where I need to be. I need to be in this salon. So I asked Winston then, can he train me to be a barber? And he said, start tomorrow.
Wow.
And I started the following day. And obviously from barbering, I switched over to hairdressing.
Okay,
I think that goes to show a great deal about yourself, Derek, and your personality, because, you know, just listening to you, the whole journey started from the fact that, you know, you were schooled in a time where there was a very racist current, you know, environment, and you said to yourself, I'm not going to go down the corporate route because, do you know what, I don't want to face more of this. Actually, I want to work within my community, amongst my people. That took you to Mayfair. And, you know, I mean, as a young man, it's quite a brave step to actually walk in and say, hey, will you train me? But that actually paid off. What inspired you to kind of take those bold and brave moves?
Well, again, it happened by maybe by, I don't know, I think nature, obviously, because there I was at 13 thinking about the school environment. I'm looking at how things were formed and how things are shaped. And I could see the kids, the white kids obviously, were being pushed and being groomed, okay? And I'm thinking, well, we're just as clever, we're just as smart as they are. And there's no interest in us, obviously, apart from sports and so on. And during that summertime, as I said, after school I went to the West End, and this gorgeous shop was there, and it was a black-owned shop by black people, completely black. And it wasn't just an ordinary salon, it was a very well-executed salon.
So in regards to your peers that you were, obviously, you know, your friends and everything, and you said they went into corporate, but I mean, what, you know, like Virginia was saying, in terms of what made you inspired, because I mean, when I think about this day and age that we're living in, yes, a lot of us are now inspired to have our own businesses, etc. So for your time, obviously that wasn't the case, but what was going on within your home as well? Did that actually have anything to do with you just saying, right, I want to definitely have my own business or work for black company, etc.? Good
question. I think at the time, I mean, my home was very pro-black. My mother's Pan-Africanist, my sister Rastafarian, my brother's Black Panther. So you can really imagine the environment, the language, the conversation, you know, the narrative, black consciousness. So as a black kid at that time, that's how I felt. So I had that presence of mind then, well, I have to work for black people. But you know, black businesses around, apart from minicabs and obviously restaurants and other barber shops. I remember going to a barber shop in my community. I'm from Acton, West London. And there's a Jamaican guy, the old Jamaican guy, and he said to me, I asked John, I said, John, can you teach me to do barbering? He goes, and at the same time, his colleague, a Jamaican lady, in the back room, peeped out and she goes, no man, go in the West End, go and do hairdressing in the West End. And it's funny she should say that though. Why did she say that? She said, why didn't you go to the West End? And it so happened I was in the West End that weekend with my girlfriend as a young lad. I was, I think, 17, 18. And that was it. So hairdressing found me while I was looking for it. Famous quote, whatever you're seeking is seeking you.
Yeah, and I think you're definitely testament to that. Having spoken about what inspired you and what kind of led you to decide to enter the field of hairdressing in the prestigious West End in Mayfair.
Indeed, Mayfair.
You must have encountered many challenges, especially during the time that you started on your journey, given the backdrop, as we said, racial tensions, prejudice at the time. So give us some insight into what those challenges looked like and felt like. Interesting.
So there I was in a black salon. We catering for not just royalty, black royalty. I remember doing a princess. I actually did do a princess, Nigerian princess. Wow. We had celebrities, all the singers. I did many singers, like Sifre, Patti Boulay, people like the Supremes. I actually did the Supremes.
Wow.
So as a
Diana Ross?
Not Diana Ross. The 3 Degrees. So all these people came to, so that was the salon they all came to. So there was a salon buzzing. I mean, literally 30, 40 hairdressers, and Winston, of course. And so as far as I'm concerned, this is a viable enterprise. So fast forward, let's say 7, 8 years later, when I was fully fledged hairdresser, I became artistic director of Splinters. All right, we've been nominated for many prizes. We did many shows in those days. So I fast forward maybe 7, 8 years, went to open my own shop, went to the bank in Maida Vale. My shop was in Maida Vale. Went to the bank in Maida Vale, and I applied for a loan, obviously. And the bank manager with his sort of toffee nose, a plum in the mouth says, black people, do they do their hair? And I said, this is what the bank manager said to me.
Wow.
He could not believe that. Why should I be opening this prestigious salon in Maida Vale?
How did you respond to that?
Yeah.
I had to counsel this guy and say to the guy, well, there's a shop in the West End next to Vidal Sassoon, not far from Vidal Sassoon, that's just as busy, just as viable. It's, obviously he did recognize that black people did their hair.
Well, you should have said to him, well, I didn't just wake up like this.
He probably thought we did. You know what I mean?
He just didn't, it's interesting though, but looking back, it was really quite an amazing, he actually put me off. But I was determined then
That's
to get my own shop open.
But further to what Jeanette was saying in terms of your challenges, when you are faced with challenges, how do you overcome them? Could you give us like an illustration or something that's actually happened and how you overcome it? Because what we really want to do is just show to our viewers about these things do happen, challenges do happen. Like sometimes we think, oh my gosh, I don't want to do this because in case I fail.
Quite.
And the fact that you're even doing it, taking a leap of faith, opening your own shop, etc. How did that make you feel? And I'm sure there was challenges with all of that as well at the same time.
I think if challenges are nothing but stepping stones. Somebody once says obstacles are stepping stones. So if someone presents an obstacle in front of you, and since you have in your mind what you want to do anyway, in your mind you know what you want, what you're trying to achieve, I think that obstacle or that challenge is just a stepping stone, quite frankly. It makes you more determined, I think, to move forward, definitely. If somebody says you can't do it, then you're much more encouraged. Of course I could do it. I'm going to do it. So I think that's the attitude to adopt.
That's a brilliant attitude to have, Kaz, isn't it? Because, we all face challenges all the time in life, and our fears cripple us and hold us back. I think once you understand, we've spoken about this before, that it's just a fear and you recognize it for the fear that it is, and you put it in its place, and it's not putting you in a place where you can't move forward, then you're able to overcome your fears and literally step on those obstacles or sidestep those obstacles and move forwards. And in your case, actually, your boldness and your ambition and your drive and actually vision has taken you across the world and to many different celebrities. So talk about that. Drop a few more names because I like that.
No. I've been blessed to have done many successful black people. I remember doing Paul Boateng back in the day, Diane Abbott, literally every single celebrity there was back in the day. So I did go to the States actually after many years of working hard. Back then, America was a place you had to visit. It's that place. Bear in mind, in those days, you had Essence magazine, Ebony magazine. You had the soul music. So in your mind, you've got to go to America to accomplish the goal. So I had to go to America. So I went to America back in the day, spent 10 years. And whilst I was there, of course, I was lucky to link up with the Essence crew, the prestigious Essence magazine. So I did literally about 3 editors from Essence magazine. And whilst I was there, I was actually managing a salon in Harlem. It's in the Bronx. A chap called Curtis Smith, a Jamaican guy, brilliant barber. So he was Puff Daddy's personal barber back then. And I got a chance to do Puff Daddy's mother's hair. Wow. Amazing lady. What I did learn, Puff Daddy is actually Grenadian.
Wow.
That's right. Wow. The mother, once in her hair, she said to me, "Derek, I'm from the Caribbean." And I thought, "You're American." Wow. I'm sure she's third generation American, but her roots are actually Grenadian.
Wow. And you're Grenadian yourself,
absolutely,
right?
yeah.
Okay.
So I was really thrilled.
Cool.
Lots of, going to America was really a fantastic eye-opener for me.
But it's not just America, is it, that you've been to?
No. I went back to the Caribbean, obviously Grenada, opened 4 salons, opened an academy to teach young people, or to give back, to share my skills and my experiences. So I went back to Grenada, opened 3 salons and a school. I worked in Barbados, Jamaica, Trinidad. I literally worked everywhere.
And how did the people receive you?
It was funny actually. I think people were quite amazed at my, obviously my skill in my craft. I think I was lucky enough to do the elite end of the Caribbean market. And in fact, I did everyone from the higher to the lower, basically. So people are quite pleased to have me there, definitely.
So how do you feel about now when you look at in terms of like say social media, you know, we always constantly seen on YouTube, Instagram,
Right.
where individuals who are not necessarily qualified, but they're doing amazing, like say lace front wigs, they're doing cutting hairstyles, etc. How does that make you feel as being qualified?
Yeah, it's
Profession.
a double-edged sword actually, because I think even I provide online tutorials. Okay, so I expect people to go to my website or my social media, my Facebook, whatever, and take a look at my videos. So the idea is to actually attract them back to me. But what tends to happen, I think a lot of young people look at social media like Facebook or even YouTube and try to mimic what they see and then practice that on customers. Highly dangerous. I think it's a dangerous
But
thing
they're
to do.
doing it, you know, you're seeing people doing it all the time. I mean, sometimes there's been occasions, I
Sure.
mean, I'm a qualified hairdresser,
Sure.
but there's been occasions where I would just be like, okay, let me go on YouTube and just have a look at certain, you know, hairstyles,
Sure.
etc., just
Sure.
to get, you know, just inspiration. And these people, they will actually say, I'm not qualified, but,
Yes.
you know, and I'm just thinking,
I'm
and
like
you've got a scissors to your
like the
hair, and you've got a, you know, you've got a clippers going. I'm just like, wow, you know. But that's the reason why I just thought to myself, how do you feel as a professional? Do you know what I
Actually,
mean?
well, as I said, it's a dangerous thing to do. You can't possibly learn an entire craft on social media. But it works for me. If I go to Barbados or if I go to Jamaica, the people who watch me on social media will attend my class. If that makes any sense.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, so I really push hard on social media. So and having done or do lots of tutorials. In fact, I'm going to Barbados in October of this year. So whilst I'm there, I know for a fact my followers on social media will come to my class. If I go to Jamaica, I was in Jamaica last year. I went to Heart Foundation in Excelsior. Whilst I was there, a ton of children came to my class. So the people who follow me hard on social media, they come to my class. I think that's the key. I think that's why companies like Sassoon, Tony and guys, they're all on social media.
Yeah.
So I think for the students out there who are really keen on the craft will, you know, enroll in their classes.
And so how can our audience connect with you? What are your social media feeders?
Oh, obviously I'm on Facebook, I'm on Twitter, I'm on Instagram. I'm everywhere, literally. I'm
And
everywhere.
what is
For
it-
my age, it's really interesting because my kids are baffled by me. I live on social media because I'm promoting my company.
Yeah.
I'm promoting my products.
Yeah, I see you on Instagram. So is it Derek
Derek-
DECUTTER?
It's DECUTTER on Instagram, but DEREK CLEMENT on Facebook.
Okay, cool.
And before we wrap up and let you get out in the glorious sunshine
Absolutely.
today, what I would ask is for anybody out there who is interested in hairstyling, hairdressing, barbering, what advice would you give them?
I would say find a mentor, because I did as a kid. I found Winston Isaacs. Find a mentor, and things have changed slightly. But in the olden days, you go up to the shop, you knock the door. Can you turn me to hairdressing? Reach out to the good people out there. Reach out to myself, and enroll and do your thing.
Okay, thank you so much. Well, guys, I hope you've enjoyed this episode. What did you think of this episode?
I thought it was amazing. I mean, you know, we're in the presence of hair royalty here, so, you know,
But
true king.
there's one thing.
Yeah.
I noticed you got some products there. We haven't touched on what's in those bags.
Well, it's interesting. I think so. Hairdressing for me has worked, and as I get older, I find that it's not just about hairdressing anymore. It's about merchandising. So for hairdressers, what we have the DEREK CLEMENT scissors. Don't know if I can show that to the camera. The DEREK CLEMENT scissors, and I've got my own collection of scissors. There they are, best in the world actually.
Oh, I do
And
like
on the actual scissors, you've got the DEREK CLEMENT logo. I think it's probably, if I could show it to the camera could see it there. Can you
Those are
actually see it?
beautiful. Oh, those are
Right, so you got the
lovely.
DEREK CLEMENT logo there. But the creme de la creme is my oils. I think black hair need oils. Those are the oils. So we have two oils. We have the argan and we have the shine serum. Argan is a powerful vitamin nutrient, and it's from Africa actually. It's in Morocco. So I encourage my client to do 2 drops of argan on in their palm like this, 2 drops of argan, and 2 drops of shine serum. The argan actually has the nutrients in it, so it protects the scalp, and the shine serum protects the hair ends. Rub together like this, and you can probably feel that. Can you feel that nice, soft consistency?
Oh,
really
that
soft and
feels
smooth.
lovely.
I wanna
And
feel-
Janelle as well, have a feel.
Oh,
And just
that feels
take a whiff, take a
divine.
fragrance is nice.
Oh, ciao.
Right. So that's what we do. We do products. We do every product. You know, shampoos, conditioners. But I do tend to push the oils because I think black hair needs, Afro hair needs oils. Oils are the future.
That's amazing.
Thanks to black people, we've introduced oils to everybody's hair.
Yeah.
Of course, there's coconut, there's castor oil, there's loads of oils, and oils are good.
And you've also got a book coming out as well.
There is a book. I've written actually 7 books. 2 has been published this summer.
And what's the name of the book? So our audience know what to look
All right,
out
so
for.
it's very simple title: Salon Stories for Barbers and Salon Stories for Hairdressers.
And is there going to be a movie with that?
Yeah, I'm hoping there will be a movie.
Wow.
It'd be
That's the
interesting.
plan.
I bet
That's
there's
the
going to be
plan.
some tea going on in those salons. Yeah.
But why
want
not?
to be invited to that
Write what you know.
premiere, please.
Write what you know.
We want to
could
be on the red carpet.
We might actually be in
In
the film.
who knows?
You just never know.
Just putting it out there, you know.
That's right.
But it's been fabulous having you here.
Thank you
with
very
us,
much.
Derek.
Great, of
And,
course.
Guys, make sure you connect with Derek. And if there's any of you individuals that want to get into hairdressing, speak to Derek. He's the man. And like you said, he's constantly on social media.
That's
so
right.
he's accessible to you, and just go for it. So until next time, do you know?
Yeah, until next time.
We say bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Lovely. Good stuff. Nice.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Woman, you are the key. It's only natural. Woman,